Okay, we back again with Mike, and like I said, the brother wrote about he don't understand because he's seeing all this killing in the world, and then these folks saying they're Christians and they're saying they're this and that. So I said, I kind of wrote about. I will start off like this. I said, "How are you, my friend?" I said, "I hope everything is well." This is a long message, but it is needed to answer all your questions. And I said, your question was an interesting question because I get this grace question all the time. What we as Christians fail to understand about the gospel of grace is that grace is a person. And that's why I read he's full of grace and truth. We must understand that grace does not increase sin, it reduces and eliminates sin. And we go to Titus, I think it's 2:11 and 12. It said it teaches us how not to sin. The law came for a purpose. Because the law has purpose. It's holy. It came to increase sin.
To show you.
To show you. Like a school, what it says, schoolmaster, showing you the way to grace. So Jesus came on this earth for a purpose. And a lot of people saying that, I know a lot of pastors, they get to tell them, come up here and they repeat after me. They don't understand what belief is. Belief is a heart change. Belief means what you believe you will do. It comes from the heart of a man. It don't come by reciting your head, your intelligentsia. It comes by your heart. Jesus knows. A matter of fact, when I was teaching this Genesis, and I said, he told Hagar, he said, you're going to have a son. And you're going to name him Ishmael. Ishmael means wild ass. He said, this boy that you're going to have, he told him before he had him, just like he did Esau and Jacob. He knows exactly what kind of heart you have and what you're going to be. Before you even born. He said, he told Jeremiah before I knew you. I knew you. And I made you a prophet to the nations. And that's what we don't understand about this grace. Jesus came for a purpose. We were dealing with the purpose of life. What
does the grace do for you or to you? What does it enable you to do?
Grace enables you to do all things pertaining to life and godliness. Give you an example. Look at Abraham. Abraham, not only he believed God. Okay. The grace of God was all on Abraham's life, and they always describe Abraham as being very rich. That's why I can't understand these folk by talking about being poor. He believed God. He didn't even consider, the Bible talk about he didn't even consider his body being 100 years old. If God said he's going to have a baby, I watched a movie one day and they had Abraham when God said, Abraham, go sacrifice Isaac. And he was up there, oh Lord, no, you ain't, did I hear you say that? No, biggest lie I ever told.
Now what do you mean believe God? What does that actually entail when you believe?
When you believe something, you'll do it. You believe that chair is going to hold you.
But Abraham, you said, was weak. He was old. His wife was in a fetal condition.
But God said it.
But his circumstances.
God said it.
Said something totally
God
different.
said it. Just like I was telling my wife one day, she's told this story, and I know she's going to get mad at me for telling it.
Well, you better not say it.
Well, I'm gonna tell it because I think it needs to be told, and she can tell it a little better than I can. When the doctor said that she had a lump in her chest, and she said, "Lord, I can't do this." He said, "Physician, heal yourself." She laid her hands on herself. She believed God. Okay, she believed God for it. And she just went back doctor to hear the report. The doctor looked at it and he said, I know there must be a God. Because tumors can't disappear like that. She believed God. When my house burned down, God said in 7 months we're going to be walking into it. I believe God. That's it. Whatever you consider the most, this is what believe is. Believe means resting in God. You remember, give you an example what Jesus did. You remember when he had the two fish and the 5 loaves of bread? And they said, how are we going to feed all these folk? Jesus just said, well, what did Jesus say? Jesus said, one thing, Jesus took it, he prayed over it, he thanked God, prayed over it, and those that believe God, he said, give it. The folks he gave it to was at rest. When you believe something, you're at rest. You believe means depend, you're at rest, you depend, you rely on, you trust in, and you do it.
You ain't frustrated?
You ain't frustrated at all. You don't doubt. If you look at the story, that's why, I'm in Bible study, I'm going over the story of Abraham. How Abraham was told to go and go out. First time he said, Abraham, go. Leave your family, go. And I'm not going to tell you where to go to. I'll show you as you go along. And he went to a place. And then if you get to, when you get to chapter 24, he said saying, God gonna do it. He said, Dr. leave this place. I ain't leaving it. His wife had died. Sarah had died. He was looking for Isaac. Isaac is next. He believed God.
But you know what part of that story?
And it's a will.
He ran into a famine.
Yes, he did.
So how can God tell you that he gonna bless you and you run into
Matter of fact, he ran into a famine because he went down.
So, but it doesn't matter. The end of the story, fast forward, on the other side of the famine.
Matter of fact, he lied. Even said this woman was. They say he lied. It's half truth. That's how we do it. It's half truth. No. He went when you go down. God had never told him. See, when God didn't tell you to do something, you don't do it. He never told him to leave. Abraham, he did that on his own, but God was with him. He took care of him, brought him back to where he's supposed to have stayed. And that's the story. Abraham believed God.
Was that the same guy who God told to offer up his son?
Yeah. His
only son.
Only son.
That he loved.
He loved. That was the key.
What's he going to do with it?
As a matter of fact, Isaac too. You look at Isaac, you see, the people don't understand about that story. Isaac was about 18 to 20 years old. So Isaac asked the question. First of all, when he left him there, he said, we're going to be back. He left those men, they said, we'll be back. See, he already knew. See, that's faith. He already knew he was coming back. Then he went up there and Isaac asked the question, said, where's the lamb? He said, God will provide. Tying them up.
Will he provide?
He will provide. And then he put that knife on. He gonna kill him. Because God said it. Because he knew if he first of all, he shouldn't have had him in the first place. That's faith. Faith is when you walk out of a job and that paycheck ain't gonna sustain you. That retirement check ain't gonna sustain you. You may be a little nervous, but you do it. Because he said the just shall live by faith.
You do it and you starve to death. You get evicted. Your car get repossessed.
It don't matter.
You become homeless.
Matter of fact, he'll tell you. Matter of fact, if you know the story of Hagar, he said, I'm gonna raise you, the son gonna be a mighty nation. She sitting there crying. She's sitting there crying in the wilderness. Put her son, she don't want to look at her son because he's dying over here. The angel came and said, hey, what did I tell you? See, that was unbelief. She didn't believe it. That's why she was upset.
So his word can't come back void.
It cannot.
Can't.
It cannot. That's why he said you stand. It was a little boy, and we gonna say it was a little boy on TV or a song I was listening to, and this lady, the house is on fire. And the little boy, see, it's just like a child. That's why Jesus said, bring these children unto me. The little boy it was a fire, and he stood on the Bible. House was burning down, and then when the firemen got him, he said, why are you crying? She said, I was scared. The fire was coming. I knocked on the burn. She said, you told me to stand on the word. Standing on the word. That child, the only thing he did, he said, I got a Bible. Mama always told me when it's tough, stand on the word.
Okay.
And he remembered what Mama told him.
And there's nothing else to do.
Stand on the word.
Mm.
I don't care if everything like the Hebrew boy. They were preached in our church this Sunday like he did. You can do anything you want to. You can be crazy by yourself. You can throw me into that thing. But I ain't gonna bow to you. And when we understand that, see, it's evidence. I even put it in, I said, the evidence of belief is resting and totally leaning, depending, relying, and trusting in Jesus, knowing we have life. And I went on and I said, what are your choices? You can choose to believe or not believe. You can not depend. Those are the choices. Do you believe? Grace is about Jesus. Everything is about Jesus, and we try to add to something that's perfect. Jesus said, I've given you everything pertaining to life and godliness, but only thing you're going to get is you have faith to take it. What grace, I remember I said grace is already made. Everything in grace. Healing, money, all the stuff. Grace has it. And we don't understand. So this little lifty letter, I know what we call faith and patience is what we call power twins. God puts you through to stretch your faith. He allows it to go. He tests you, like he tests Abraham's faith. Everybody, chapter 22 of Genesis, you better go in and understand. He tests Jesus. Go into Matthew 4, 1 through 11. Devil only got 3 tricks. And one of those tricks is to try to get you not to believe who you are. If you be mighty, if you be saved. So when people come to me, if you be saved, I know where that's coming from. Are you saved? You know who's talking to you. You should, by now, you should know who's talking to you. Do you believe you saved? Everything pertaining to life and godliness deals with belief. Do you believe? And it's got to be from your heart. Out of your heart is the issues of life. Your heart is your spirit, brothers. I can't emphasize that enough. We gonna end here because I can get here and talk about this all day, just like I talk about this stuff. You know, I can sit there and I can sit at a restaurant with folk, and they will sit there and eat your food. They will sit there and when you tell them that they can make some money, they'll sit there and eat your food and wipe there and then keep going. Not knowing, but they don't understand. You can put this in front of them. If they don't believe it, they won't survive. Okay? So I'm going to wrap it up here. Understand how important the law came by Moses. Grace. Understand? Grace was sin. Grace did that much more.
Where sin did abound,
Grace
did much more.
That's what people don't understand. They say, but. I say, that ain't messed up. When they say, but, always in action. Faith is action. That's why we come with James. James said, faith without works is dead. And he goes back to that story of Abraham. Because people think, oh, I believe. No, they got a head knowledge of believing. They don't walk into what they really believe in. If I believe something, I will do it.
Faith without works
is dead. Faith.
So you got
corresponding action. You got to do it. When you join Organigo, you had to do it. You can say, I believe in Organigo. I believe. But what did you do? You went and signed up. You went and you made a little money off of it.
Right. You got to go through the
Okay? That's when God said you believe unto salvation. That's a saving faith. I believe God. Abraham believed God, and God switched him up just that quick. He counted his righteousness to him. He was just like he never sinned.
Then he changed his name.
He put a ham on it. It was Abram, he changed it Abraham. And just like when he saved us, he changed our name. Just like he saved Jacob, your name is no longer Jacob, it's Israel. That means you got power with God and man.
So any man be in Christ?
He's a new creation.
What happened to the old guy?
Passed away. And all things become what? New.
But people still remember.
It don't matter what they remember. What do you remember? They want to take you back.
Yeah, all the way back.
They want to take you. Remember me?
I remember
what you did.
I remember. And who you think you are, dressed up with a suit and tie.
Yeah.
But I remember. So what that mean?
That's called a witness. I used to do what you do.
Okay.
What made it? Said call Jesus. And that's what people don't understand. You walk by faith and not by sight. When we understand it, and God gonna make you, He gonna have you to do it. Because what you see is real. What you don't see is real. What you see is temporal.
So the just shall live by faith. Live by faith.
Live by faith.
Not
walk by faith.
Okay.
All of them. Walk by faith and not by sight. Abraham, and like you said, Jacob, he when he was blind, he saw. Samson didn't even see until he got blind. Sometimes God will allow something to take so you can see. Because once you see, it's all over.
You don't see with the natural eyes anyway.
He show up.
The natural man, this doesn't make sense.
No.
It's craziness.
Yes.
To the natural man.
Yes.
So without being born again, you can't do that. You
can't even see. You look at somebody and can't even see them.
But then one day you realize how blind you was. Yes. When your eyes open up.
In faith, you can see faith. Jesus saw the centurion. He saw his faith. He can see. You can see a man of faith.
Well, we give the definition of faith before you close. What the scripture say? I think it's Hebrew.
Faith is
the
substance, the thing hopeful.
And the thing
and evidence. See, it's that evidence. And that's why I explained to his brother. That evidence. See, it's the evidence. Then I define hope. And all of that, I go in there to faith is, it just is.
The substance. It
is. So when God said you righteous, you is.
But you don't check your senses.
No. That's sixth sense. Faith is that sixth sense. It's above your five senses that you can smell and taste and see naturally. It's above when the doctor say you got breast cancer and you say, well, the devil was a lie. By his stripes I'm healed.
So but you the head, not the tail. So you loan and not borrow, and you don't even have one of these. But yet he said you're blessed.
And they blessed.
And you can't even run two pennies together. So who you gonna believe? Your bank account? Yeah. Or what the word said?
What did the widow do? Widow Mike, he said he said all y'all guys giving out abundant. He said this lady giving everything she had, 2 pennies. She gave out of her everything. She believed that message so much she gave everything. See, we give out our abundance. He said that you give somebody when people believe, they're gonna do. They're gonna sacrifice everything. So I'm gonna wrap it up there. Faith is your purpose. The just shall live by faith. See you next week.